Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Oh, I need to reload my TTS thing. Hold on. It's doing its shit. It's doing that shit again.
The Geegler.
That's me. I feel like it's been 100 years, but really I just skipped one day because I'm moving it to Saturday instead. So it's not even being skipped, it's being moved. But anytime I go more than like 2 days without being on stream, I'm like, I come back and I feel like it's been 10 years, you know? I also like didn't do alt. I just took some time to not do that because I was like, this is probably good for me. So that's a good thing, I think. And also there's just so much shit to do. There's so much shit. Uh huh. There's a lot on the back end that I'm taking care of. A lot of it is stuff that's really annoying to handle, really difficult to deal with, like just operationally, like very annoying. And it burns my brain out. And I think if I had to do that and then after had to stream, I think I would just like die. I don't know. I was just like, I can't, man. So I was like, you know what? We have Block Wars Saturday. I'll just do that. I'll just move this day to that day. So we're still getting like the normal number of stream days this week, but I pushed it back a little because God, there's just so much shit. It's shit that just sucks. It just sucks. You know, there's certain kinds of work that just suck so much and are awful. It's one of those. It's like it's just draining stuff, you know. So any day I have to deal with a lot of that, um I'll probably just push stream to another day if I gotta. But yeah, so me sucking. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that like it's not even anything that like I can fix. It's just stuff I have to handle and deal with the aftermath of. So I'm just like, oh, stuff that didn't have to be a thing, but stuff happens and things become things that you then have to work on. So it's just like, oh my god. So been doing that, and then after I do that for the day, just been gaming and letting myself just vibe. Because this shit's so annoying. So annoying. But it is what it is. So anyway, because of that, we didn't do a Monday or Tuesday stream, but we're gonna do Saturday because we do have Block Wars, like I said. So we'll do today, tomorrow, and then Saturday, Sunday, which I'm excited for because it's Block Wars Brawl, which is a they have like a couple little spin-offs here and there. This one is specifically focused on PvP games. So I'm really excited for that because that's the stuff that I do better in, and our team is like really good, really really good. So I'm excited. I think Saturday is gonna be great. I think Saturday is gonna be wonderful. So crafting 100 guns in GTA is pure vibe, and I mean yeah, it's just sitting there like at a crafting bench, letting items in an MMO tick down their timers until they're made. So I was just like I was logged in, but I was mostly just working on the side for a lot of that because it's just so much shit to do. But I got a lot of my shit done for now. More shit will appear. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh man, I'm done with this for the day. Hell yeah. And then the next day it's like, okay, now you have to answer these 100 things. It's just like a never-ending deluge. But it'll be like that for the next couple months, I think. But yeah, it is what it is. But I'm excited because as I do all that, we have Block Wars coming up. And I really wanted to do these spin-off events. I like Block Wars. I'll do more of the same, gladly. But I want to do some of these special ones, so I'm glad we're invited. We're going. It'll be good. And we have. I'll show you my team. Someone was mentioning it earlier. Go to team. So this is the team. me, May, Purpled, who we've teamed with before, Speed Silver, who we have not teamed with before, and SK. So everyone but Silver I've spoken to on here and know pretty well at this point. And yeah, Silver I haven't talked to at all, but they've been really nice in the chat, so we're chilling. We already have someone who made a skin for us, so you know, we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna murderize the other teams. I was looking at this and I was like, we're actually gonna pop the fuck off. Anytime in Block Wars, I tend to be like middle of the pack, so anytime I'm like one of the worst players on my team, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do really well. like if I'm not the middle player, then yes, this team's gonna be demonic. So I'm excited for that. So again, that's Saturday, like it usually is. We'll be back. We'll be doing Saturday, Sunday. It's gonna be good. I don't know why I'm yawning. I slept so well. You know that feeling when you sleep for like 10 hours and you're like, oh man, as you wake up. You sleep for 4 hours, you wake up, you're like, what a beautiful day. I think that's what happened. I tried to get good sleep. And I did. But like, but you just feel like that, you know? Not actually tired, but whatever. Whatever. Anyway, that's all we have. As far as plans for this week, I don't have any specific plans. I figured we could just keep playing things we've been playing. Let me check my calendar. I don't know if anything is coming out this week that I wanted to check out. Let me look. No, there was nothing this week. It was really just Doom last week, so we'll continue Doom. There's still Oblivion. I can always go back and just play more of that anytime. I think next week is when Night Rain, Elden Ring Night Rain drops, I believe. So I might check that out. And then the week after, like early June, I have something really, really, really fun with Haruka. That I'll show you guys later. But that's really it. I don't really think there are many game releases that I was looking at. Switch 2 obviously releases, and that'll be nice. So there is going to be stuff to play, but I don't know if I'm going to get my Switch 2 day of, or if it'll take a little time to get to me. It might be something that I get a couple days later, which is, you know, sad, because I always get every Nintendo console like at midnight, but this time, I'm thinking, unless I manage to scoop one up day of, I'm probably going to end up getting mine until, not getting mine until like 2 days, 3 days later. I don't know. I'm actually looking now. I'm thinking, yeah, so I have a friend who was grabbing one, like an extra one, and they were going to try and give it to me if I couldn't get my own normally. So I should be able to have it, but they have to mail it to me. They have to mail it out, and I'm like, you know, that'll take a little bit. So I don't know. We tried Half Sword. Oh yeah. Oh, we played a bunch of Half Sword. Actually, I have a few games that are one-offs that people have said I should play that I figured we could just pull one out, unless you guys really, really want like Doom specifically today or anything like that. But yeah, I figured it could be good. We did do a little bit of drop duchy. I wanted to just try something new for a bit. Postal Service, yeah, it's, and the thing is, I have to watch, because if they drop a package off, I'm assuming they're going to put it in another box that hides what it is, but you never know. You never know if someone wants to yoink it. Thankfully, I have someone who accepts my packages for me, so like, should be okay, but you never know. Daya, thank you for the sub. Did you ever play Helldivers? The update is pretty nice. Yeah, I have. I wasn't super, not that I didn't like it, I just wasn't super into it. Like, I know I had a lot of friends that played like hundreds of hours, and I was never that guy. I just played a little bit and liked it. I do know there is that update. I was thinking of actually, let me get it downloading. Because a couple friends did say they were gonna play it today, so I could potentially drop in on them. I know one of them was Mike. Mike wanted to play it a lot, so could do that maybe. Oof. You ordered the Animal Crossing Switch when it first came out, and they put it in its OG box on your front door. Oh my god. I hate that so much. Like, you shouldn't have to put a box in a box because that makes it really obvious what it is. But I wish they at least, like, paper wrapped things or something, to hide it because. I don't know where you live, obviously, but some areas, the porch thieves are crazy. They're crazy with it. They take everything. I don't know. Absolutely nuts. Okay, I'm going to download Helldivers 2 just to make sure I have it. I've only played 17 and a half hours. And that's since it released and not all. It was kind of all front loaded, like toward the beginning. So, I'm not a person with like everything unlocked, but, I like the game. I'll play it. I'll play it. You're fortunate enough where folks don't do that. That's good. That's good. You have a P.O. box. Yeah. That's the way to do it. Learned that the hard way a long time ago, and yeah. I have multiple layers of things going on. I've got a P.O. box, I've got like a package acceptance person, I've got all this shit. Is Helldivers good to play solo? Honestly, yeah, you can play it solo, but you can also play online with like randoms. It doesn't have to be with friends, and have a good time. So, I would say do it. I just think because of the nature of the game, if you're not sitting there talking to people throughout, it can get a bit boring. It can get a bit boring. Unless shooting things over and over in a game and mag dumping things is like the most fun thing in the world for you. But yeah. I think you should at least be in a call to shoot the shit with people if you can, if you have that. UPS delivered your GPU in its manufacturer packaging. Oh, it's awful, man. Yeah, stuff like that. I would PO box. I would PO box every time. Every time. Or if you're doing things through Amazon, go through and have them send it to one of their package lockers and go pick it up at that location. If you're ever getting something really important delivered, just do that. And everywhere there are locations where they've got lockers set up. They give you a scannable barcode or like a number that you can type into a pin pad, okay? You just let them do that. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of package locker services. I would do that whenever you're doing something like a GPU, that kind of stuff. Like just do that. Just do that. It's not worth it getting potentially stolen. And it's not even like it's something that costs a ton to do or anything like that. So I would do that. You have stuff delivered to a friend's house that's inside an apartment complex, so it's behind a locked door. Yeah, the nicest thing is when you live in a building and there's a person who accepts the packages for you. Oh, it's the best. They have like a mail room and you have to go down there and they know who you are. So you say, oh, I'm in this unit. And they're like, okay. And then they give you your shit. That is the greatest thing ever. It just, that's one of the privileges of living in a building, though. I honestly like living in a building more than like a house, a standalone thing, because of shit like that. I just much prefer it. And I know some people don't like living in a place where they share walls with people, but I kind of prefer it. I don't know. I dropped something, but I can't tell where it dropped. But I didn't hear it hit the floor. It's the cap to my water bottle. Whatever. I don't care. I'll leave it open. There it is. I moved enough and it dropped it. I don't want to bend. Okay. Like having 4 walls so you don't have to listen to Jerry pooping. It depends on the building you're in. And it depends on if you can actually hear your neighbors or not. I've lived in places where I could hear every little thing and nothing at all. There are places that are pretty solid like that. And I've said it before, like right now, there are some walls I share with some folks, but they're like behind closets and things, so Pretty good, pretty good. What kind of fancy fucking building has one of those? Lol, crying. A lot of buildings do. I'd say all the bougie ones have like a really big mailroom, but a lot of buildings that just have a basic concierge will have like a closet nearby with a lock on it, and they will just put your packages in there, and you just go there when the concierge is around. Even a lot of shitty buildings in New York have those. They do. You're literally hearing drilling downstairs as you watch. Yeah, one place I lived, there was a crying baby. There was a newborn, and I shared where my office was, where my desk was, shared a wall. Like my desk was up against a wall, and that wall behind it was a newborn's crib. It was like it was the worst. And thankfully not it wasn't loud, like the noise didn't penetrate through the wall too heavily, but it was there. So even if it was quiet, I'd just hear like wah, wah. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I like working without a headset on, without music playing. I like working in silence. And I was like, I can't do this. I had to move my computer to another room. I couldn't. And it was like it was a specifically what I did was I would put my bed in like the smaller room, you know, or a room with like a lot of other shit. If there was like one big room that had everything in it and then one bedroom, I would actually make that one bedroom my office so I could close it and then like, you know, soundproof and all that a little bit. Not soundproof, but sound treat. And that was nice. But I had to swap it. I had to turn that into a normal ass bedroom and then put my desk out in the living room kind of area, which I don't like. I like to separate that because then I feel like I live my entire life in one room. So that's why I would always swap it, but couldn't do it because that fucking baby, man. Crying baby. It was the worst. Your upstairs neighbor plays Counter-Strike at 3 a.m. You could tell because he's using speakers. Who games with speakers? I feel like that's crazy behavior. PC gaming with speakers. Well, I'll do it for some things, but like something like Counter-Strike where you want to hear the sound around you, that's nuts. If it's a game where that doesn't matter, then that's fine. But in FPS where there's like spatial sound where you hear shit and you hear footsteps to the back right or whatever, like that's I would never do that with speakers. Never ever. I don't know. That's crazy. You don't even own a headset? Dude, certain games you should play with a headset. You should. Absolutely. You prefer speakers over headphones? I like it if the game doesn't need it. Like if the game doesn't need it, I'd prefer to take the headset off and just not wear it all the time. But with the way some games are, I can't. You need to hear stuff around you. You just gotta. Yeah, tactical shooters, all sorts of shooters. Well, are we back? I'm reopening everything. Real quick. Don't be loud. Please don't be loud. Okay. Whew. Well, we back. Get your double dailies in. Let me, I gotta give stuff a sec to load. I can see you guys. I just, you know, my other shit needs to load in. I don't know why that happened. Okay. Let me look one thing up. You got pranked? Well, hold on. It was some sort of like memory corruption style thing. Let me see. I think it was when it's just trying to download the game. I think. I'm not sure. Hold on. Or I wonder if maybe it was my DTS borked again. It's not borked, it's that the thing that runs it isn't open. Because I haven't done anything but open OBS yet. That's why. It could be a GPU thing also here. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's what it is. Okay. Giving you a disk read error. I am not going to start reading out what things are in error codes and whatever, because all that happens is everyone in chat just asks a lot of questions, but I have more information than they do, and then they can't help, and I don't want them to help anyway. Because I can just figure it out myself. And it doesn't matter right now anyway. Okay, let me open this and this. And this. I'll ask if I have a question. If I'm like, have you encountered this as well? Then I'll ask, but otherwise, nah. Okay. Okay, Discord's back open. Woo! Woo! Perfect. Okay. TTS is back online. Okay. There we go. Dedicated wham. Dedicated wham. Yeah. I think I know what it is. It's like one of three things. Like, I don't know what the cause of it is, but I know what happened, so. Have you tried this? Okay. I think everything's open. Everything is back. Yeah, there we go. Fixed. Will we play tonight? I don't know. We have options. I just don't know which of the options. It's not like a, ooh, I'm lost, I have no clue what we could possibly play kind of, I don't know, but more of like a, I don't know which to pick, I don't know. We may, well, I was going to think about switching to Helldivers, but I tried starting a download, and now I don't know if it is okay. Let me see. Oh yeah, Steam automatically continued it. There we go. We'll see. We'll see. New Helldiver stuff is pretty different. What did they do? I mean, I'm gonna sneeze. My opinion of Helldivers is that the game is pretty good, like pretty well made, but it's just another like shoot everything kind of game, mag dump a bunch of enemies kind of game, and that's it. And I just found like I really liked the game, but it didn't do anything super interesting. So I kept hoping that they would do more interesting shit. I don't know, get stale after a while. Yeah, I was 17 hours in, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this game. Not that I disliked it, just I had enough of it. You know, I saw everything, but I don't know. You don't need folks to make it more enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, I did play with friends all the time. I have a capacity for things, you know. There's a point where no matter how fun my friends are, how much I like my friends, that doesn't matter if the game is just boring. I'd literally rather sit there in a room and stand around and talk to them. Ryuko, you don't need to time them out for that. They just might have meant that like for real though. We'll wait and see if they double down weirdly. Then we'll time out. It's fun for that amount of hours before you move on. Yeah, exactly. I think I don't know. I felt that way with Lethal too. Like Lethal was fun, but there was a certain number of hours in, I was like, I'd rather just sit around with you guys and talk to you instead of like play this game with you guys, you know? I was like, I don't know. Sound like a troll might be. it's that one was on the cusp. Yeah. Lethal got stale after stream 200. Yeah, I think it was good, but there are different groups of friends who do things differently, and in that game, when you just play it and you play it to play it, it can be pretty fun for a long while. I played a lot of Lethal and had a good time for most of it. But when you do the same 3 bits over and over, I get really tired of it. Like, not that those bits are bad, I just genuinely start to feel tired, and I just, like, it just drains my social battery faster and faster each time, you know? And it's one of those things where I'm like, I shouldn't do this, you know? Content time, yeah. And you know, it's like, it's rough. It's like Dale and Dawson too, right? Depending on who's playing. Some people are very creative and come up with like a lot of really good bits, and I love that. And then some people just do the same 2 things over and over, and I'm like, I get drained. That's all. Love everybody, but I just get so tired. Friend blocks your jump, has done it 800 times. Everyone laughs. Yeah. It's that kind of stuff, and everyone does that. Everyone like repeats their bits, whatever. But you know, Repo with Archon has been fun because the RPers doing bits. I've been having so much, especially Archon and Chris, the 2 of them. I get along with them really well. We've been playing a lot of late night Repo. I don't know how many of you watched it because I don't know if like I haven't posted about it in the Discord. I think some folks have mentioned it here and there, but yeah, we've played a lot of late night Repo with them. A ton. An absolute ton. And we'll do more. We'll do more. I was gonna join them the other night, but I was just tired. They keep playing really late. They keep starting at my 1 a.m. and I'm like, brother, I like I'm still gaming at that time, but I'm usually like chill gaming. There are some days where my brain is like totally ready for that, and then there are other days where I can't. You know, I want to, but I can't. Have you brought up Outer Wilds to Archon yet? No, why? Oh no, is he like me? Is he a sicko? I'm gonna send it to him and say, wait, I was just DMing him. Wait. We need to talk. We need to talk. You wanna get the Demon 6-pack? Oh, yeah. Let me message that chat, actually. I messaged them the other week. Demon 6. They all said they were down, but it was like 2 weeks ago. Ready? I'm necroing the chat. The chat's been dead for a little bit, and you just bring it back up. It's me every time. Ugh, we need to talk is brutal. Oh, I love it. I love it. I've been enjoying that group a lot too. Hanging with Archon and Chris and Star and all them. That's been good. It's been real good. Hardcore Lethal and Repo with OTB crowd. Yeah. I wanna do more hardcore Repo. There are a lot of really good mods. Like the mod makers have finally popped off. So I want to make a hardcore mod pack and go crazy. We did the other night do hardcore Repo with that group, and it actually could have been more brutal. But we did do something where like we share our health. So when one person gets hit by something, everyone gets hit by it. Stuff like that is really fun. So we'll see. Can't wait for more peanuts and PT. Yeah, we're gonna do that this Friday. I messaged him about it. I was like, it's time. It's peanuts time. But I also on Friday at I think 8 Eastern, I have I'm gonna do more RimWorld with May and Garrick. So I will do it before then. Before then? Something like that. Something like that. I gotta figure out. Everything always tries to happen on the same day, so we shall see. Or what if I ask him to do that Saturday because that other thing is happening Friday? I'll figure it out. Hear me out. You get ADMC together for Repo. Ooh. and me. I'm just like, yeah, let me in. I organize the collab, but I only invite a different group of people than myself. It's like me self-inviting to their collab that I set up. Oh, I love that. A culture exchange, you know? Inverse of barking Cypress. Yeah, like when I made the Cypress one, just dragged him in. I'll do the opposite. That's just funny. I mean, that's basically what I do. I keep getting adopted into all these other groups of people. I won't tell you what Archon said about Outer Wilds. We'll get there. We'll get there. I will hold back telling him my thoughts until we can sit there and talk about it verbally. We will do it. Need the egg guy to be chased by Joe Biden. The egg guy. You called Zed the egg guy. Oh, I'm glad that's how you know people. Actually, that's one of my most favorite things is like when I introduce someone to chat, people, you know, a lot of them don't remember the exact name, so they're like, yeah, the egg guy. Yeah, their first thing they've ever seen him do is do this bit where he becomes the royal egg. It's so stupid. Oh man, that's awful. I'm gonna tell him about it. Oh god, like in real life, yeah, he's the king, man. He's the king. Real and true. Just get the Eggler fit together. I can't get it to look right because there's nothing that's like properly black and white striped. It's like black and gray striped. I'll work on it. We'll get there. But it's been a little bit tough. It's been a little tough to get it to be right, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. The bus tour, dude. Stuff has been so weird and so cooked the past couple weeks. I don't know. But we are here today. I've tried to do more like solo shit on stream because everything I do off stream is always with other people, you know? So I'm trying to balance it. I'm trying to balance a lot. So doing things like Doom has been nice. I kind of want to play something with like a heavy story or narrative. But I don't know what to play. The only one I can think of is a lot of people recommended Firewatch. A lot of people said I should play Firewatch. They said that's a really good like one and done. Red Dead. I wanna do Red Dead 2. I really do. But it's long. But I want to do it. But it's long. But I want to play it. So if you guys are down for me to like go on a long Red Dead 2 arc, I could do that. But I definitely have to play other stuff in between it and break it up because I feel like it would take so long. And I would try to not like side quest everything, right? So it's not the longest thing ever, but I've been wanting to do that for a while now. You've not watched much Red Dead 2? I have seen the game, but I've avoided watching any streams of it because I didn't want any story spoiled. Yeah. Need a cowboy hat? Yeah, I should. I'll get a hat for it. I will. Claire Obscure isn't that long, but everyone and their mom is playing at the moment, I guess. I think I'll give it time and then try it later. Yeah. I'll get there. I'm telling Archon next time I see him, we're podcasting about Outer Wilds. We're gonna do it. Everyone's gonna be so tired of us 8 hours into conversation. They're gonna be like, shut the fuck up about this game. It's only a 30-hour game. I can't wait. I I really want to play another, like, I want more one-off games to play here and there, in between other shit. But there's also part of me, I feel like I should wait until June. I feel like I should wait. But I really, really, really want to start another Sunshine run. I really, really do. I'm gonna ask him, have you played Blueprints? Because someone in chat asked. I'll ask him. There's Fist, pretty good Metrovania. Yeah, Monster Trade 2 just dropped. True! Okay, you're not wrong. It did. It did. Sunshine? Every other year, I play it. In summertime. Every other year. So I kind of do. I also just want to replay like Pikmin. My brain, I can't. You know, there's some things that just make you like peepo happy instantly. That's my brain with Pikmin. I see Pikmin, I'm like, yeah, I'll play that for the 30th time. So I kind of just want to replay 1 and 2. Pikmin 1 controls give major nostalgia. Yeah. Pikmin series speedrun. I think Pikmin is one of the few games I actually would not mind learning to speedrun. But learning to speedrun a game also is something that I don't love. I used to... Okay, the only game I seriously speedran, like seriously was getting good times in and was trying for, was just the day levels in Sonic Unleashed. I would go crazy on that shit. Crazy on that game. And I felt no satisfaction at the end. I speedran that bitch until I got beautiful times. And then I was like, I don't like this. I don't like speedrunning, actually. So I stopped. I was like, I'm never speedrunning anything ever again. It felt the same way I felt about fighting games, like labbing for hours just to do a shitty Carl Clover combo not quite right. No. No. Oh, thank you. So, I'm good. Do a Blueprint speedrun, but you play offline so Garrick can't cheat. Dude, Suv in his chat, Suv kept showing up and being like... Every time I'd show up at Garrick's chat while he's playing Blueprints, he'd be like, he only knows this thing because he saw you do it. It was so annoying. Oh, it was so fucking funny. It was so fucking funny. Sonic Unleashed, great half great, half huh? The night levels in that game were so bad. So bad. Oh, Helldivers 2, it downloaded without issue. Okay. Good, good, good. So we have that later. Let me tell Mike. Say, hell yeah. He said he was gonna play it. Hell yeah. No triple dailies. Yeah, you were hoping. Too bad. Too bad. I don't know. I'm looking at my list of games. There's a lot of stuff I want to, like, just replay. There's a lot. I never quite got to sit down and really go through Knock for the Coffin Lid. I wanted to play more Kill Knight. That game was so fun. That game was really good. So I want to do more of that. There's a really cute game called Locomoto that I want to play. It's really cute. It looks kind of like Animal Crossing, like visually. It's just like little animals with big heads. And you run a little train. You just have a little steam engine. And you pick up passengers and you feed them and do things at stations and then put them on the train and then take them places, and it's cute. It's cute and I really wanted to try it. What else? I feel like there's a lot of stuff on my list. Mycopunk. A few people mentioned that one. I gotta look at it again. Oh, and I have to play Fantasy Life. I have to play so much Fantasy Life. Oh yeah, Mycopunk was the one where I looked at it and I liked specifically the weapon bobbing because the way the weapon bob looked very old timey, and I liked that. I like that a lot. How much longer do you have in Dark Ages? I think we're like halfway through the game. I could probably just do more of that until it's time for Hell Diving. Yeah, Mycopunk looks cool as fuck, man. It just says 2025 for the release, though. That's it. I really have to do New Fantasy Life, though. This game, I don't know if any of you played the OG. I put so many hours into that. So many fucking hours. It was really good. It was really good. So that one, I'm gonna be going crazy on it. How's the difficulty in Dark Ages compared to the Old Gods? A lot easier. I will say the my one issue with Dark Ages right now with Doom is I'm playing it on Nightmare. Okay. And everything about the difficulty when you're fighting stuff and you're able to physically look at it and face it feels fine. If anything, feels a little easy. Not bad. But all of the little enemies take like half your health if they just walk up to you and go rah and scratch you. And there's so many of them that get behind you or on the side, you don't even see them, and mid-fight they just beat you up, because this is not Doom Eternal where you can jump and place yourself differently around the field. I just felt like I would get smacked in the back of the head constantly. And that isn't a good difficulty spike. Like that, yeah, that part is genuinely unfun. Like, I agree. If everything would just try to like line up in front of you a little more, that'd be fine. Or if there were more ways to do things with movement, it would be fine. But what am I supposed to do? I can run at normal speed. There's no dash. I have a shield, but my shield can break and then it takes a while to come back. So I will just sit there and get hit and die. There's a lot of stuff where you have no choice but to get hit and die. So overall, I'm still having fun with the game. Like overall, I'm still enjoying it. But it's just that part doesn't feel good. I don't know why they made that decision. I don't know why they tested through the game and they were like, this is fine, when there's a glaring unfun part of it, you know? So I don't know. You can fine tune difficulty. You can. I was thinking of even turning down their damage on me because, like, genuinely, it's not about the big enemies, it's about the small ones. If there's I have to check, I don't think there is. If there's a slider to take damage just from small enemies and turn that way down, I would do that. I think they should have done that. I think when increasing difficulty, they should have taken damage from big enemies, larger enemies, made that a lot higher than it is, and then small enemies turned that down or kept that low. But yeah, I don't know. This is why I like games with movement. If you're going to have a lot of enemies, you're going to have a lot of bullet hell kind of moments in a 3D game. I think you need good movement. Or that shield has to not break. And unfortunately, your shield can break, and then you also can't dash away from things, so you just, like, get hit and die. I don't know, man. I don't know. So overall, game feels well made, but the fight setup isn't the best for some things. I don't know. Friend works as a playtester for a major publisher, has lots of stories about their feedback being annoyed, and management going shocked Pikachu when players said the same thing. Right? Like, why even hire someone for QA if you're not going to care about their opinions? Why? Never understood that. Never ever got that. I don't know, man. Miss being able to disarm demons? Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Sounds like they only expect higher difficulty for second run through or something. No, it's more like the problem is that small enemies spawn in behind you while you're fighting a big enemy. But those, because of the damage you do, the amount of damage you don't do to them, really, you have to sit there and be in a fight with them for a while. So small enemies spawn in behind you and start smacking you, and in like 2 hits, they kill you. So that means mid-fight with a big enemy that you're supposed to be watching and carefully parrying over and over, you have to turn around and shoot a small enemy just in case there is one there, you know? It's not well designed from that aspect. I already missed the double jump from only playing a little bit. Yeah, I think Eternal straight up was better. Like, this game is still good, don't get me wrong. I'm still enjoying it, but I think people just shouldn't play on Nightmare. Or they should and then just turn down how much damage the enemies do to them. You know? Their projectiles are really small from some of the imps. Yeah. It's true. A lot of games starting to let you customize damage outputs and tankiness and settings now. Yeah, the settings were pretty good. I didn't look through them super heavily. I just left everything at standard and played through like that for a while. But yeah, some encounters I was doing really fine in, and then I would keep dying to one little guy walking up and sneezing on me. I was rarely dying to like the big dude I was fighting, you know? So that's an indicator that something's wrong, I feel. I feel like the smaller enemies are fairly quiet and so can easily sneak up on you. Yeah, I straight up don't hear them. It's not just because I'm streaming. I straight up like don't hear them. You just get hit and then realize a small enemy showed up behind you and killed you, you know? I don't know. I think there's a lot that could be adjusted there. But I'm still gonna play it, so whatever. Whatever, I'm still gonna be playing that shit. Let me look. Is there anything else that I wanted to bring back? You know, I didn't finish Split Fiction with Joel. We did one stream of it, got through like more than half of it. We should probably do that. Maybe I'll just ask him to pick a day and I'll finish it with him on his channel or something, because you could see both the whole time, I think. Maybe I'll do that. I think that'd be nice. I was really liking that. It was really well made. Probably won't touch Hades 2 until it's done. Yeah, I played a bit of it, but I don't feel the need to like devour the demo, you know? Like it feels good, but I'm gonna wait until it's done. I actually don't like that they release so much of the content so early. I feel like they should have waited, but that's just me. He's gonna have a sassy remark like, look who it is. He's gonna be like, I've been trying, but then he asked me like twice. I've been trying to get you this whole time. I'm asking Archon, would it be weird if Maya and PT held a podcast about their Lord and Savior Outer Wilds? Oh god. Oh no. Oh, what if... Next bit, we make Helen listen to us talk about it for 8 hours. Oh no. We need Helen there. Oh, it'd be so good. Oh god. Oh god. You know what I need? You know what I need? I want a game like the Stanley Parable again. That's the kind of game I'm looking for, but I feel like I've played those already. I think. Are there more games that feel like that one? I feel like that one was so unique. I don't know. Mr. Boy, thank you for the 38 months. Thank you. Like, what else do we have that It doesn't have to feel like it like be like a similar game, but I want to have a similar experience, you know? I want more of that. Like games I feel like I react to, you know, a little bit. Not breaking fourth wall type of stuff. That's not what I mean. I don't know how to describe what I mean. I mean like story-based, narrative-based. A thing you can just kind of walk through. You don't have to do any crazy gameplay for. Just stuff like that. Blueprints, LOL. I mean, we still have more to do in Blueprints, but it's gotten to the point where it's very tedious, so that's why the last stream I did of it, I did on alt, and we just found some new shit there. It's just me testing a lot of weird cooked theories. Which actually, the last one did seem to be something. Like, I did find some cool shit, but, you know, there's more to do. Firewatch is perfect. Yeah, a lot of people have said Firewatch, so I have that one on my list. Maybe not today because we will probably play Helldivers, but I think that one's gonna be on the list for another full day. I think it will be. Superliminal, I played it. I loved Superliminal up until the ending. I really liked that game. And some things were getting a little philosophical, but not too much. And I was like, okay, it has a narrative, that's fine. And then you get to the ending, and they just start telling you what the game is about. Like, the narrator is just telling you what you're supposed to get from the game. And I was like, man, when we were, like, figuring it out through a little more environmental storytelling and it was more subtle, it was good. But the moment they started spoon-feeding you their idea of what the meaning of the game was supposed to be, I got pissed. I flipped on the game, and I went from this game is great to I hate this game. Like, I really loved it until that point, and then I was like, oh, I got so mad. I wish they just cut that part out of the game, man. It was really good up until that point. It was. But they just stopped focusing on the environmental storytelling, and they just started fucking, like, narrating it into your ear, and I got so mad. Yeah, a lot of you said beginner's guide. I played Slay the Princess on stream. We've done that. The beginner's guide. That was his other one, right? Ooh. Yeah. It's about an hour and a half. Wait, this is really short. Yeah, it is. It is kind of walking sim. It's one of those things where there's like no narrative, right? It's just a thing that you experience. I always wanted to do this one, actually. It's been on my list for a while. I'll add it to the cart. I'll do it. So, like, the trolley problem brought up the dog too many times. Oh, yeah, Superliminal. Yeah. I didn't like the trolley problem game either. Like, I enjoyed playing through it from a mechanical standpoint, but then it just started, like, spoon-feeding you all this, like, it's actually deep because there's this thing. And I was like, come on, man. Right? Like, it was too much. It was too much. Or basically they force you into that literally every answer you give, there is no good answer, and they make you... The game is designed to make you feel bad about every answer you pick. And I'm like, It didn't do anything for me, right? I think if they were less heavy-handed with the writing on it, it would have been better. I think it would have been. Thomas Was Alone? I've heard of that one. I don't think I've ever seen it. Like, I've heard the name. Yeah, this is the one with the rectangle. This has been around for a long time. Yeah. But do you play this with some... Was this co-op? Or is this not? Is this a solo game or is this co-op? It's single player? Okay. Yeah, I'll throw this in the cart too. Why not? Yeah, I like a lot of games with, like, a strong narrative that you're supposed to get through the gameplay rather than it being, you know, a thing that they just tell you. But yeah, I'll put this in there. It's in the list. It's in the list. Just all the smoke holders. No. I don't want you guys to smoke. I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna say something right now. If anyone ever tries to complain, not you guys, like randoms that don't watch me. If anyone tries to complain about me holding a cigarette on stream, I'll eat them alive. I don't want to hear it. I remember when Mouse had a cigarette on one of her models and it wasn't even a toggle. It was a PNG of a cigarette that she like stuck to her face or stuck to her hand. And there were like people harassing her and they're like, you're promoting smoking. I was like, shut the fuck up, you fucking baby. Like, what? She's a cartoon. She's animated, okay? And she took a PNG of a cigarette and slapped it on. Oh my God. You know how many characters like smoke in shows because people in the world smoke sometimes? Jesus Christ. Now, it's one thing if you're doing that and you're like telling your chat, you should do this. That's different, but oh my God. Oh my God. It's crazy. Fred Flintstone smoked. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the number of people, back in the day, the number of like high schoolers that would smoke was really high. Nowadays, it's like way less than 10%. It's like less than even 3%. Maybe even less than that. It's so few. Like, we've beaten that. The problem now is vaping. Now I'm gonna say right now, if you do a thing and you choose to do a thing, that's your choice. Whatever, I don't care. What I don't like is when they choose to do a thing because they think it's better for them, but it's not. They think it's fine, like they have bad information on it. Then I'm like, ooh, I think they just don't know. It's not better. It's really bad still. They'll get cheese lung. Yeah. Yeah. So do you think Mousy needs to obliterate more chatters with the old ban hammer? Honestly, I think most streamers need to ban more people from their chats. 100%. But I'm also someone who is just a little bit stricter with that in general anyway, so that's just me. But yeah, I don't, if someone's just got like weird vibes, like they're not being a bad person, they're just sitting there and complaining about something that no one fucking cares about. I mean, maybe they gotta go. You know, maybe they gotta go. I'll start renting Giga's mods out for a week at a time to clean up other chats. No, we're keeping them. I don't think they want to deal with other chats. Very few. I don't think they want to deal with that at all. I think a lot of them are mods here for a reason because of the vibe. Make what's going on a banned term. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good filter. You know, there are a lot of like really weird things that you could put in as in the language filter as like a proper filter. But yeah, people saying what's going on. People that come into chat and just say what's going on. In this chat, there are no regulars that say that. It's all new people. And guaranteed, the majority of people that come in and do that, they are young. Almost every time. They're young. And instead of just watching the stream to learn what's going on, they just type it and wait for the chat to tell them. And it's weird, and I don't know why they do it, but it's almost always an indicator of young people. I don't know why the correlation is so strong, but almost every time when we're like, yo, what's going on with you? What'd you do today? They're like, I went to high school today. Like, it's just one of those correlations that's so strong, and I don't know why, but it is. It just is. They treat Twitch chat like Grok. I think they actually do want the chat to be their own chat GPT. I think that's what they're looking for. They're like, I'm going to ask this thing and it's going to tell me. It's crazy. You know what I can't stand about Grok? You know what I can't stand about it? It tries to answer you like a cool uncle. That's what it tries to do. Okay, most other things you go, summarize this, what is it? And it goes, it is this. Grok is like, well, let me spin you down a little story real quick. So this guy was, and I'm like, what the fuck am I reading? Like, it tries to be cool, but it comes off like weird. I don't know why it does that. It just, yeah, they're trying to make it sound human, but it's very obviously like real lame. I don't know. I don't like that. Perfect weird Uncle RP. Yeah. Yeah. AI shouldn't have personality. Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so. And it keeps bringing up shit that's like incorrect. A lot of its information is very wrong because it's not. It doesn't have a way to verify if its information is correct or not. It just thinks a thing and says it. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know, man. It is the weird uncle. It is. Sick of AI being everything. Like, I just want to talk to someone on the phone instead of a little bot who doesn't understand anything. So long as something is cheaper, people always do it. I think the only way things will change is if it hurts someone's wallet. So, like, if you don't like the customer service is always some sort of bot trying to help you instead of a person, then you have to take your business elsewhere where they use people for that. Thing is, no one does that. So, if you don't like a thing and you boycott it properly and that company loses revenue and you're like, the reasoning is because you do this, then they might change it. But it doesn't really happen in practice. I'm a firm believer that, like, the world doesn't change until people get hungry. So anything people say they're going to take a stand for, or like they really don't like or they really don't want, they're just going to put up with so long as they can keep like eating food and watching TV. I think that's just kind of like how things are. And I'm not saying this to be ultra cynical or anything. This is what I've noticed. It really, like, no one goes out of their way to like heavily boycott a thing, inconvenience themselves, use a different service, blah blah blah, until like things are bad for them. So as long as soda is like 2 cents per giant soft drink, people are gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. What if it's not recognized that people are hungry? Yeah, the thing is, most people that are still like able to live hungry. There's a difference between able to live hungry and like dying off hungry. So as long as they're the former, nothing really happens. Sadly. So boycotts hardly ever work. Yeah, I think most people don't want to commit. They don't really want to commit to that. I also think, people call upon boycotting every little thing. And I think the more you do something, the more it feels less impactful. So when people are like, I don't like this, so I'm going to boycott it, it kind of has lost its value. And it's less of someone taking a stand and more of them just being like, yeah, I just don't like it, right? It just feels more casual and not that important. So, yeah, I think stuff like that doesn't really work well nowadays. Right? I'm on Ozempic, I'm never hungry. Exactly. Listening to a company call where they wanted to use AI to replace their call center workers because all the interactions are largely scripted anyway and nobody wanted to do it, in quotes. Yeah, I mean, it's cheaper to use an automated system like that. And no, okay, this is actually true. A lot of people don't want to do jobs that are grueling and difficult in the US. There are people who will do these jobs, but there isn't the amount of people needed willing to do that shit. But in other countries, there are. So this is something that's true in certain industries that I know from people around me, talking about it all the fucking time. A lot of jobs that are hard labor, They cannot like get an American high schooler to be like, yeah, I'm going to do that for my career. Genuinely. Nursing, there are never enough nurses because people know it's grueling work and they don't want to do grueling work. You work landscaping, you can't find anyone nowadays? That's another good example. Landscaping. Yeah. Yep. Because you don't get paid well. These are people who never got paid that well, but it's even worse nowadays. You don't get paid well. You don't get treated well, typically. It's often backbreaking, is often physically demanding or really mentally demanding, right? If you're like in a call center all day. And people just don't want to do it. They'd rather be jobless, you know, or like take a worse job money-wise so that they don't have to deal with, you know, the strain. And people genuinely just don't want to do it. So stuff like call centers, no one wants to work in them. So yeah, they either outsource it or, you know, they're just turning to AI because that's, you need a call center. You need something. You know? The cheap landscapers are due to bad, the good ones are due to expensive. Yeah, there's like no in between. It's crazy. Why plumbers are so expensive. I used to say it all the time to a lot of folks. I'd be like, you should go into trades. You should look at plumbing. You should look at construction. Construction is maybe a little worse of an industry. You should look at being an electrician. You should look at being a steam fitter. Random shit like this that you can get a good job in. Go become a tradesman and you get paid well. If your goal is I need to be paid well and I don't want to do a super like brainy job, then that's what you do. But a lot of people would hear it and go like, oh, a trade, and everyone would act like they're so much better than a job. I don't think anyone is better than a job. If it pays you and you can do it without wanting to die, okay. Hell yeah. Like there's no, I don't know. People have this idea of themselves in their head and they're like, you know, don't want to be a tradesman because they see it as lesser maybe, but dude. And trades can be brainy. Yeah, it's more so the perception that they're not. They're, depending on what you're doing, it really can be. Fixing physical things will always be good money. Always. Always. And you can outsource it if you like bring someone in from another country to do it, quote unquote, but that person has to physically be there. Okay? You cannot outsource that job like remotely, you know? So that's something that will always exist. So, I don't know. I know some people that did become tradesmen kind of against all the people saying, oh, no, don't do that. Oh, it's terrible work, whatever. They're all chilling. A couple friends in construction really like needed to get out of it and get into a different trade because it's so backbreaking. But that's what they did. They just went into a tangential trade, something kind of similar, but not exactly the same, trained up in that. And they're all doing well and they're all getting paid more than a lot of my other friends that went for like normal office jobs where they thought they were like somehow better for wearing a normal button-down shirt every day and sitting at a desk. I don't know. It's interesting. Very interesting. Does your current job get paid enough? What I'm doing now? I mean, like as a streamer? Is that what you're asking? I would say on paper, if my goal was just to live each year, yes. The problem is something people don't realize. Creators don't typically last long. Like the thing you're doing isn't usually something you can do for 20 plus years. Average content creator is like 5 years, 3 years. Obviously you hope it can go for longer, but you have to prepare and assume that it won't because for most people it won't. So I think it's more like it's getting longer and longer nowadays, but 7 years, how many careers have like a cap of like 10 years? Not many. Most of them you could go forever, right? This shit, it ends at some point, right? Or you can keep it going, but it gets like, you know, to less and less revenue over time. So what you have to do is you have to make enough each year to try and retire early. Or to have money to fund a thing to do later. Which is really tough. Really tough. So when you think about that, my answer to that is no. No. I don't right now. Catterbox will give you the rate. Like, I don't make big bucks like that to be like, you know, funding some crazy thing that's going to be able to make me money later. Like, I currently, no. I am going to do my best to save and do everything I can to try and get there. But, you know, it's how it goes. And it's how it goes. Ryoku, thank you for the tier 3. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Stream is a very crowded field. Yeah, and people are really fickle. They always want something new. So you can pop off and do really well. And then you could do like nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong, but there will be something new and everyone will be like, "Oh my god, new thing." And that's just how it goes. Some people do like, I think TV is a good example of this. People do like their comfort thing. There are shows like Project Runway, like Top Gear, like Top Shelf, that have been on for forever, and they do the same thing for forever, and it's people's comfort thing, and they love it. There will always be a pocket of people that want to go back to their comfort thing. But at the same time, there's always like, new show lasts for a year. Okay, it's done. New show lasts for a year. Okay, it's done. There's always stuff cycling as well, and that stuff is the stuff that gets crazy popular. So, like, I feel like streaming is similar, where you could end up being one of those channels where people just chill and stay, and you never get like the biggest numbers ever, but you're doing pretty well, and people are just comforted by being there, and they like it being what it is. But most channels are going to be the opposite, where they like do well for some time, and then eventually it just falls off, and people want something new. That's just how it is. Top Gear still going? No. They have their new show, the three of them, on Amazon, that they did for a bit. I don't know. I think if you do just chatting and you're a bit podcasty, you might be able to do that for a long time, because there's always shit happening that you can talk about. There's always something new. So that's not the worst, but I don't know. It's rough. That's even Survivor. Yeah. There's stuff that like it's nice to just go back to and have that comfort thing. I have things like that I'll always go back to. Games as well. Gaming has that, where there are some things that are just mainstays because people just like going back to the same series over and over. And then there's other stuff that just, flash in the pan. I think the era of podcasting kind of hit peak oil in the mid to late 2010s. Podcasts are still good. They're still really good. The thing is, everyone has one. And you can no longer say, "Oh, I'm podcasting about this," and that thing that it's about is interesting enough for people to want to watch it. It's purely based off of you, and if people want to watch you talk now. So it's harder and harder to start a podcast, because everyone's done everything, and there's already a good podcast for everything out there. So that means that you have to be better, like you, the person. So, that's tough. That's really tough. It's a lot easier when you're early into an industry and you get to be the de facto thing. If you're like, yeah, I'm podcasting about the environment or whatever, and then you're like the first one, that's unique. So people, whether people like you or not, doesn't really matter as much as like people are just interested in that thing you're talking about. But once people have done it enough times, there's no way to stand out besides like being more interesting, being someone people want to listen to. That's it. It's kind of tough. Flavor of the month games like we've been hitting lately. Yeah. Flavor of the month, I think, is fine and will always be there. The problem is we need more mainstays in between that, so we can get off of those flavor of the month games faster. There just aren't enough. Oh shit, thank you. There aren't enough. Where it's the same like two things that have been around for forever. And it's getting a bit stale. That's why I like to go and just play random roguelites. Like, there's always something new. Even if it's recycling ideas from another game, it's always a newly cobbled together thing, so it's fine. It is. Wonder who the first true crime podcast was. Why are there so many true crime podcasts, and why does everyone try to make one? Why does everybody try to make a true crime podcast? Why have I heard that so many times? A lot of old crime. I mean, I guess. Because of cereal. Makes sense. Makes sense. You can always make more crime. That's true. That's true. It could be homegrown. I'm running out of crime to report on. Grabs knife. Most podcasts are like the same people that are already talking all the time. Is barely different from a normal collab stream. Yeah, I feel like they should be have more direction, or you hit topics that are a little different from what you do on stream. A little different. Or, honestly, something that could be really nice is you just do one and you talk about the stuff you talk about on stream, but it's a little more prepared. You know beforehand. Because when you're talking on stream, usually you're just shooting the shit. You're talking about whatever chat's talking about. Instead, it's nicer, I think, to do that, but take stuff that people have asked on in the chat, research a little beforehand, and then discuss more after, you know? So it's like still the same thing, but more prepared. I don't know. A lot of you saying you listen to some true crime podcasts. Interesting. Stuff You Should Know is the perfect podcast. Yes. I like that one. Yeah, there are a lot that it's easily recyclable, but not in a bad way. It's just gift that keeps on giving kind of content. There are a few that I think are gonna stay forever so long as those people are willing to do it. I really wanted to do a solo one. I've waited because I was waiting for the one that I'm trying to do with Mouse to kickstart, but that's taking forever. So I've been working on a solo one instead because like I just a lot of my content is stuff that I do, but I always open it up to other people joining, and then I have to wait on that before I can post anything. You know, even like my YouTube, we do a lot of GEEGA chat episodes, things like that, where I invite a guest on. And I can tell you how many people have had lined up to film these and record these with me, and they all simultaneously push them back every week, you know? So at this point, I fully expect it. So I'm just cooking up other stuff that I can do that doesn't require other people so I can have content coming out. Because I still want to do that stuff. I'm just being realistic that, like, it just won't happen on a timeline ever, you know? So I still want to do it, and I'm still going to keep those things moving forward, but I have to not count on them, you know? Because then I don't have as many uploads because I'm putting my whole ass into those things. But yeah, schedule coordination is hard when everyone's a content creator. It is. It's not even always like those people are lazy or something like that. It's genuinely like not easily doable. Truly. So that's why I'm trying to cook up more stuff that I could just do alone, right? I could just sit there and record fucking whatever and let that be that. And that should be nice. That should be good. So we can have more shit happening, you know? I want that. You said the most important thing for podcasts is that they don't need visuals like for a commute. Yes. Exactly. I think it fits into people's lives nicely, which is why they're still so popular. YouTube content is great, and YouTube has always been doing well and doing better and better. But the need for that visual makes it so that it's a lot harder to fit that into just your life if you're an adult. So, sorry, audio listeners. Yeah. I like podcasts that do create a lot of visual, but it's not needed, right? Very excited for the GEEGA Mousy podcast. Yeah, genuinely. So we had recorded stuff like last year, like 2024. We recorded some episodes, and I had an editor edit some of them, and we sat there and listened to them, and I was like, I don't like how this has come out. Genuinely, I was like, we can do better. And Mouse felt the same. The staff that I had working on it felt the same. We were all like, we should change it. And I'm trying to not be too much of a perfectionist, but it just like wasn't the vision that we set out with. So we scrapped it. And we said, okay, let's try again. So we sat down, had meetings, got ideas together of how we wanted it to go. And then a couple months ago, we had like several weeks of constant filming. That felt really good. And we did re-record some things because they were pretty good, but like, especially if like Mouse is tired one day, it will come out a certain way, and I don't want her to be releasing stuff that she doesn't feel happy with. She already has to sit there and stream all the time when she's sick or not feeling well, and it's not a quality level that she wants, but it's what she has because it's live. You know, but this is a rare thing where this doesn't have to be live. So I'd rather take time on it and let her work on it in a way where she can be happy with how it comes out instead of just being like, fuck it, send it, you know? I'd rather delay it for that so that she can feel good about it, you know? Myself as well, there are days where I'm a little tired and I'm listening back and I'm like, God, I just sound so fucking tired in this thing, you know? Like, it's just not right. So yeah, so I just was like, fuck it. So we did have some stuff where we filmed a bunch, recorded a bunch, and actually turned out really good. But then the cyclothon started. and then the whole cyclothon, we didn't record anything. So we're gonna get back into it very soon, and then it should be good soon. But any specifics on why it didn't feel good? Weird mood. Straight up just boring. And by boring, I don't mean very boring. I mean not good enough. Like not bad, but I don't want people to just be happy with us giving them whatever. Because I know people will be. Like, if I do literally anything, there will always be a pocket of people that'll be like, that was great. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. That was okay. And I don't want it to be okay, you know? That's how I feel on, like, recorded content, at least. If it's on stream, it's whatever. You're hanging out for so many hours. Like, not all those hours are going to be great. That's fine. But, and, you know, when you're recording a thing, like, it's fine to just be like, nah, scrap it, redo it. Most videos, people redo shit constantly. Because like, okay is not good enough, you know? So, anyway, that's what we're doing. It's not like it's going to be the greatest thing ever. It's going to be the most perfect series ever. It's just, you know, if something doesn't feel like it's above a certain bar for us, then we'll just be like, nah. Cool talking with you. Let's not use this, though. You know? But we're getting there. We're getting there bit by bit. Well-edited podcast is amazing, but definitely takes a lot of work. It's one of those things that's so deceptive. It sounds so easy, it looks so easy, but it's actually harder than normal streamed content. And looking at it from the outside, you'd think it would be nearly the same to create, but it's not. It's not at all. So, we'll get there. We'll get there eventually, man. One day. But I just want it to be good, you know? It doesn't have to be amazing, but I want it to be good. There are episodes of Radiolab that cost 1 million plus. Cost? How? I'm not that familiar with this one, actually. Let me see. I've like heard the name. Oh, this is a really popular one, huh? Oh, I remember this one. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the NPR ones, right? Yeah. Interesting. Why'd your tongue move all of a sudden? Because I put my finger to my lip to scratch it, and my phone thinks that my finger is a tongue. Happens when I drink stuff too. It sees the straw, and so it sees like object, like vertically down from mouth, and it's like, that's the tongue, and it's like not. It's just like a straw. Sorry to break the fourth wall, but that's kind of like, you know, not fourth wall, but immersion. But yeah, tracking's a little fucky. At least you ask normally. There's some people and they're like, haha, stop sticking out your tongue at us. And I'm like, I scratched my lip. What do you, like, I genuinely don't know what the chatter's talking about because I wasn't staring at myself, you know, so I didn't see. So sometimes I see comments like that. I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, I'm genuinely like so confused. And I'm like, oh, my hand. Okay. Okay. Shit like that's funny, man. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens that I'll just never see because I don't like stare at OBS the whole time. I stare at chat, or if I'm playing a game, I'm staring at the game typically. Did I set up a topic, go through it with chat very well? Would I consider making them into some sort of semi-podcast / chat videos? We already post a lot of the stuff I sit here and talk about on my Clips channel as like mini It's basically like a mini podcast. It's a clip of me talking, but because it's what you're saying. There's that. And then I was asking my editor to start going through and doing more with the highlights channel that was like that. I felt like what we were doing with the highlights channel was very like highly edited. But for a highlights channel, I don't think we need to do that. So instead, I wanted it to be almost like long clips where it's a supercut, it's edited down, but I didn't want it all to be something that we felt the need to over edit, because honestly, editing is expensive, and pretty much all of my sponsorship money goes toward budget for my team to get shit done. Like nearly all of it. That's how I fund that. And I was like, I think it would be more cost effective, and people want this anyway. They want this anyway. A lot of people have asked me to do that with the VODs. They're like, would you consider hiring someone to just do cut down on them so we can get chatting VODs, but it feels more like a podcast because you cut any fluff? And I was like, that just goes on the highlights channel. Like, that's just a different thing. But I hear what they're saying, and I agree. So we kind of pivoted with the highlights channel to do a little more of that. And we'll still have the normal highlights that do get edited a bit more. There will be things that are just cut down of VODs, whatever. But we kind of have that with some of the more recent videos. Like they're titled and thumbnailed like they're the same as the older videos, but the idea behind them is more that like we're editing them a little less, but then making them longer so we can put more content into them. So that is there. Though it's more game focused, I would say. It's a lot more game focused than chatting focused. But maybe we'll get there. Would rewatch a best of my penis jokes? I think I would need like a different editor who wants to sit there and watch through all of that just to pick out those things. If anyone is an editor and wants to do that, let me know. But the existing team is so focused on like the current projects I've got that, you know, need your own librarian. That would be good. I don't know if he pays librarian or if librarian is doing it just because he likes to do it. But that's such a passion project that you need someone who's basically willing to do it for free, whether they actually are or not. They'd be willing to do it for no money. There are so few of those. Most streamers do not have those. I do need something like that. That would be great. But that's too much. That's too much to find typically. They just don't exist. Yeah, lore master, exactly. Someone who hears me say a thing and reference something that happened 3 days ago, and then they can go and find where they timestamped when that happened, and they can put those two things together into a clip. That means that you have to sit there. Basically what you're asking for, if you're asking for a librarian like that, is you're asking for some guy to sit there and watch every stream and or every VOD if they're not there live, and then to timestamp and write down and notate everything that happens, and then to put together videos that link those happenings. That's the difficult part. That's the really, really hard part. Most people do not take those notes. The only one we do have is we have Nick, but he's focused on specifically the GTA content. And he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. That's why like our No Pixel channel, our GTA channel in the Discord is like so good, because we have someone who just writes notes of what happened, and he doesn't just do it for what happens in my POV if I'm streaming. If I'm seen on another POV, he'll go back and he'll like recap it. Now try getting someone that for like a variety streamer, right? Most people are not willing to do that for a variety streamer. They're only willing to do that on like server-based things. So it's really, really, really hard to find that. It is. It's been a couple times when Barks needed a GTA clip and he just comes into the GTA channel to ask and leaves 30 seconds later with a timestamp. Yeah, and like my editor can do that in the Geegan Out channel. He could be like, hey, she was talking about this thing while playing Blueprints the other day. Does anyone know where that was? Like, he knows he could do that. He does occasionally. But yeah, the librarian basically does almost all that himself, which is insane. Absolutely insane. It's such a time commitment. I think if I had crazy money, I would pay someone to do that. But at this point, you know, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd have to kill my VODs channel completely. That still wouldn't be enough money to pay someone to do that level of work, but I would have to like shut down my VODs channel, shut down my highlights channel, put everyone's time into that shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Insane. Crazy he can keep it all up now that he's married. What do you mean, like his job and his lifestyle? Well, Kate was always like doing this shit before as well. I know Kate, and we used to play a lot of games together and stuff all the time, and she just did the same thing he does. She would just play games with people and work. She was always doing music. I think she's talked about this. She was an oboist, and she would play oboe and and do classical music, but NL was doing well with his stuff, and she would just stream and he would raid her, and it just, you know, worked out for that. So she was like, okay, I could just chill and do this. And I remember when she got pregnant, she was telling us, and we were like, no, you're not. Like, we didn't believe her. we didn't believe her. We were like, no, you're not. All right. And she was like, no, I actually am. She's, no, guys, I am. And we're like, okay. And then she sent like a picture of the ultrasound to the Discord because she had the ultrasound images because she was like far out enough along that she was prepared to sit there and, you know, tell us about it. And we were like reverse Google searching because we thought she just got it off the internet. It was me and you know, his mod Origin, me and Origin. We were like, there's no way Kate's pregnant. No, it turned out to be real though. It turned out to be real. Shit was crazy. Oh my god. We really just, we were like, oh, okay. You know, we really thought that she was not, and we knew she was open to it, but like I'm used to people that I know being like, oh yeah, we want to have a kid like within the next 2 years. Yeah, we'd love to have one. Usually they talk about it a lot. She didn't really like do that. We just played games together and hung out, and it just never came up, you know? So I was just like, really? It's interesting. Kate lore librarian has been pretending to be married for a while. Yeah, I know a lot of the lore. Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for clarifying that. Yeah, basically librarian is a dude who sits around and watches like everything NL does and then makes videos out of it, and is able to keep the channel existing in a way where people who don't watch streams can keep up on the inside jokes or current metas of the chat and the streamer, which is really, really important. So typically, this is why this is so important. I don't think people realize how crazy this is. When you're a streamer and you have like a YouTube channel, your YouTube audience and your Twitch audience are totally separate, typically. And your YouTube audience is aware of the stuff you put in front of them. The Twitch audience is aware of a lot of the in-betweens. So if you got a new tick, a thing you keep saying, or there's like this one funny chatter that shows up and does a thing, and then they show up the next day and you like rip on them a little bit, like people remember that, so they're part of those things happening. That kind of stuff doesn't always get captured in YouTube videos though, right? So the YouTube audience is wholly unaware of that. However, the way Librarian does it, or some like lore master type clippers do it, is they try to chronicle that. So like whatever the current metas or happenings are, or like a recent joke that occurred that feels a little bit meta, right? Like it's about the chat or, you know, a type of conversation they had with someone on stream. They try to keep that chronicled. And that makes it so that if someone is a YouTube watcher of that channel, they can show up to the Twitch chat and actually like know what's going on. And that is really hard to do because you have to log everything that someone does and then piece those different happenings from those different streams together to make videos. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's hard as in it's difficult. It's just really time consuming and you have to be really thorough, you know? So many creators can use to serve something like that. It's nice, but it's really something that typically you can't even afford to pay someone to do that because it takes so much time. So if somebody wants to do it, you are blessed. That's all. You have just been blessed if you have that. because it's more than just being a clipper, because most clip channels, they just look for highly viewed clips. Like when you clip something on Twitch and people view it, you can then sort by most viewed for the day, for the week, whatever, and most clippers look through those, and then that's what they post. The majority of them do that. They do not do the work of sitting there and watching actively, which I don't think they necessarily should unless they're being paid for it. Like, it's a lot of time, you know? So I don't think what they do is bad. That's the typical thing, right? So then, yeah, someone that's actively watching for the sake of trying to chronicle everything, that's a whole different ball game. And that helps the community so much, because people who can't make every stream can still be up and up on whatever the fuck is going on. So I think that's great if you have one. I think it's the best thing you could have, really, because bridging your YouTube and Twitch audience so they like know what the fuck's going on is great. That's all. You're okay with people creating supercuts of your content? I think overall, yes. I think more is more. You know, it's good for SEO. It's good, whatever. I just wouldn't want someone doing something that I'm trying to have my team do, or posting it so quickly before my team can get it done. So, for example, there were some people that were trying to clip things, and they were trying to get them up like during the same stream. So if I sat here and chatted for 2 hours and talked about something, sometimes within the gaming portion of the stream, a clip would be posted of me talking about a thing. But my editors, while I was streaming, had already noted it and been like, yeah, let's make a clip of this later and we'll post it in the morning. And I'd be like, ooh, because now it's just redundant content. No one watches my clip, and then it is my content, so I should, you know. So I just asked the people wait a little bit. Or you can always ask in my Discord, and my editor's there and can tell you if there's anything where he's like, no, we want that. You know, if you want to be like chill about it. Because I don't want to have to. I can always copyright claim someone. If I post my own VODs on my VODs channel and someone uses, like, you know, my stream footage to make a thing and I need it taken down, I can always do that, but that's really fucking annoying. And I don't want to do that to people because they're just trying to do a nice thing. I'm not trying to like copyright strike their channel, you know? So they could do it if they ask, and if my editors are like, oh yeah, we're not making a supercut of that, fucking go for it. Or if it's like, you know, GEEGA, but she says, you know what I mean, and then it's just clips of me saying, you know what I mean, like, you know, I'm not gonna bother you about that, like, know what I mean? But that's the kind of stuff that's like always fair game. Ludwig recently talked about the exact same thing happening to him. Yeah, because it's content that you create, and then you have the right to take your own content and turn it into other content and place it somewhere. That's you, the creator, have that right. So when someone clips you, technically you could go after all of them. You could go after every single person who sits there and like clips you, because they're losing you revenue if you were going to post it instead. So that kind of sucks. But, you know, no one wants to do that shit. So I just tell people like, hey, wait a little bit, or just ask in the Discord. That's it. Oh yeah, Lily's clipper checks with the team not to compete with them. Yeah, that's the best thing you can do. That's the best thing. And like if you wait a little bit and like we're not posting it and you're like, oh man, it would have been nice to post a day of, it doesn't matter because no one posts it. So you're not competing with anyone. You know, it's fine. Like creators need more rights to their own content. No, we own our content. Well, depends on the platform, but like we do. The problem is that anyone can also post it, and then you have to retroactively tell them, you have to go to YouTube and be like, this is mine and I don't want them posting it. And YouTube actually auto scans. I get that all the time. There are a lot of people that like watch my clips of me talking and they post videos of themselves reacting to it. So I sit there and watch the clip of me and talk over it. And whenever someone does one of those, YouTube flags it and sends it to me and goes, there is your content in another video. Do you want to see this taken care of, or do you want to leave it? So a good number of those get flagged, and you know, we do see it. A voiceover docu mini series about my opinion, it's okay or no? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Park, that's my editor, by the way, right there. My biggest fear is going to bed and waking up to a clip from the last stream going viral on some other channel. Yeah. I think the thing that sucks is that we can't control the comments section. So, like, there have been times where people have clipped me and it's gone really viral on another channel. They're making revenue off of it. And then there are, like, some weird fuck-ass comments and that person replies to it and those comments get bumped up. And I'm like, don't love that. Don't love that at all. Not one bit. And some of them don't even credit me properly. So if someone watched the clip and they were like, I would like to see a stream of hers, I would like to follow her on Twitter, sometimes they can't even like do that. They're like, what's her name again? You know? So that's why I'm like, not always a fan of other people doing it. It depends. Thank you for the 10 months. It depends, man. I remember Bark sweating, messaging me over some things that went like viral on some other channels, and he was like, I'm literally mid-editing this. He's like, I was in the middle of it, dude, come on. I'm like, fuck, man. Sucks. It sucks. This topic was the first thing I ever edited of you. I know. I remember. It's crazy. Crazy. Have you ever felt you had to submit a copyright complaint? I never have, because anytime someone did something that was like very egregious, it was a tiny channel and the video wasn't really like popping off and getting a lot of views, so I didn't want to go after that person. I felt it was just a waste of time. I just left it. But there have definitely been times where I've been like, maybe I should do this. There's been some people that have made content where they like don't like me, and I've thought about it, but then at the same time I'm like, it's just gonna, like, they're gonna get attention. They're gonna start like posting about it on Twitter and drama farming it or some shit, and that's like all they do, so I just don't. I just ignore them, you know, because then it gets worse. So I'm like, whatever. Have you been victim to the AI slop clickbait clipper channels yet? What is that? I haven't. No, I don't even know that that's a thing. Is that a thing? I have seen people use like really bad AI subtitling in clips that doesn't even like get the words right. That's what I've seen. Fully automated clipping systems? Oh no. Is it that? That's fucked. Numi found a bunch of bot clippers. Well, here's the thing. Do they get a lot of views? Because if they get a lot of views, then that's bad because they're entering competition with the streamer, and that could be not good, right? But if they're just poorly done and that's it, and they don't get a lot of views, then it's truly like, just ignore it, you know? Obviously it's not good, but there's no real action you could take to do anything good there, so you just ignore, but it doesn't really impact you, you know? View bottom most likely? You never know. You never know. Because anything's a view. If someone clicks and immediately they realize it's some really shitty content, they can click off of it. You know, they can close it. But the click happened, so it counts as a view. So number of views doesn't indicate actual, like, watch time, which I think is a much better stat for showing if that thing was good or not. You know? What viewers were by watch time? No, there's a baseline to be counted as a view, but it's not very much, and it counts as a view once you hit that tiny threshold. It's really not anything crazy, so yeah. Yeah. The issue with those was extreme clickbait bordering on slander type stuff. Oh, they clickbait horny titles on related content side. Oh, it was that thing? Okay. I didn't realize those were like AI generated too. I thought that was someone... I don't know. I didn't see them talk about it too much. I just saw a little bit. I thought that the scenario was that a person was sitting there making those, and they were like, I don't like that this person's doing it. But now you're telling me it was generated. That's so annoying. That's so annoying, dude. What the fuck? I hate that. Yeah, it's terrible because you know, it's rougher for people. So years ago, like, the big meta was that so many VTubers would just say like crazy lewd shit and like insane jokes about like their buttholes or whatever. Pussy content, you know? Pussy pink content. And they would do this because it did well and because they liked those kinds of jokes anyway, but they would make themselves the butt of the joke because that was like the best way to do that kind of content. And they weren't super uncomfortable with it. So I felt it was fine. It was fine. The problem is everyone wants a piece of the pie, so people start clipping you. If you're doing well for any reason, people will always clip you. And if your shtick was that you had those kinds of jokes or that kind of model or whatever, the clippers would always take it like 3 steps further than you ever would. Always. Guaranteed. And some people would say like really shocking stuff here and there, but it'd be like a one-off joke, and then a lot of their content would just be like lighter stuff. But they would make these insane. Yeah, the titles would be crazy, the thumbnails would be crazy, and you would scroll through these channels and everything would look like that. So it would give you the impression, if you didn't know this VTuber, you'd scroll through this clips channel of them and you'd see nothing but over and over these thumbnails and these titles, and you'd think that that was like their thing. So then they'd get a bunch of chatters coming in that were new from YouTube going to their Twitch, just saying crazy shit because they thought that this person was always on this energy all the time and they love this, you know? And it just got like really, really bad. So a lot of them started to kind of backtrack and realize that they needed to draw the line a little further than what they were actually comfortable with, because people would always go over it, you know? You had to draw the line back a little more. But because they already did it at some point, there are a lot of people that just refuse to change. They've seen the old clips and they're like, this is how you are forever. And they just don't care. Or they'll be like, but this is what you're like on the inside. I know it. Like they start making up headcanon instead of just accepting that a person has clearly said a thing. Or some of them just don't know. Some of them don't know that they've changed their mind on how they want to operate. So they're like, because they're not updated, they're not informed. And that's the worst, because if you get mad at them, they're like, I don't get why you're mad at me. And then, like now you're just being mean to them, from their perspective. So it's just a really awful situation to try and like control after it's been done, Oh, the shippers are bad. The shippers are bad. Yeah, people shipping real people. I've dealt with this in RP, so many people shipping characters and stuff. And like sometimes it's so hard to just like be friends with someone. It's so fucking hard. Or you try to have like a nice moment. You just try to have a nice moment and people are like, oh, they start going crazy. And it's like, ERP God. Yeah, it goes insane, Especially when there are some incidents that have actually happened where like stuff does happen on stream. Some streamers do actually date or, whatever. People take those couple of examples and they're like, it's all like that. And they start assuming that everything's like that. It's really difficult to deal with sometimes. I can't tell you how many times myself and friends have messaged each other and been like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I was nice to you a bit on stream and said one nice thing, because now people are getting weird. Like, it's awful to have to like apologize for that. Or not even apologize, but just be like, yo, sorry that we have to deal with this. But God, it's crazy. Can't have anything. I decided to kind of not care though. Because like, I know who I'm friends with. And if I want to do a nice thing with a friend, I will just do a nice thing. If I'm playing a character in a game and my character is going to do a nice thing, whatever. Whatever. It's just one of those things where I'm like, even if you do absolutely nothing, people will still do it. So like, do you just pretend you hate everyone or what? Like, I was just like, hey, yeah, I've given up. I'm just going to be friends with who I'm friends with, and that's it. What can you even do, There was a goblin VTuber that was popping up in your timeline that seemed perfectly normal, all ages content, but all the clips were insane horny bait titles. Oh, the one with the big ears? Yes, I remember that. She was getting like, yeah, honey, she was getting so many ultra horny clip titles and thumbnails being made. The thumbnails were bad. Like they would overlay blush over her cheeks in every single thumbnail. And then the clip would be like someone saying something just platonic and nice in her chat. She'd be like, oh, that's so sweet of you. And she'd say like, darling, or something like that, because she says words like that. And I'd be like, what? How are we doing this? How are we doing this with this thumbnail over this clip? I was like she said something you could say to a child and people wouldn't think it's weird. You know what I mean? So like, how are we doing this with the fucking, ooh, what are we doing? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like the nice accent did something, but it just, ooh, I felt so bad because she's just sweet. That's all. She's just sweet, I don't know, man. Love her accent. Yeah, it's nice. Well, I think like when you said it's that Southern Belle drawl, like there are a few characters in media that have that drawl and then are like very flirtatious, and I think they just assume that everyone with that accent is just like that, or they they like project that. It's the reason why she stopped calling people honey. Yeah. Yep. It's actually a reason why when I was younger, a long time ago, I started trying to have a little bit less of an accent. Like to the point where now when I'm streaming or I'm talking to people that aren't from where I'm from, my accent just mostly goes away. Because people kept projecting this thing and they'd be like, ooh, feisty New Yorker. It's the same way they do like the weird feisty Latina thing, but they like try to make it sexy every time. Like it's not just like feisty in personality. They're like, oh, it's ooh. They make it like a thing. And I'm like, I hate this because I'm just talking on the phone, and they're like, she's so feisty. And I'm like, I don't like that, It's, I don't like that at all. And it's just so much projection because I'm a firm person. I wouldn't call myself feisty. I just joke around with people. That's it. It's like not even the way I am. I'm a really chill guy. So I don't know. And it's annoying to deal with when you have people saying that, but then they're also like making advances. But when they make advances, they just keep quoting this personality type of yours that you don't have. They just decide to start calling you this because of your accent or the way you look or something like that. I'm like, that's really fucking, annoying. Yeah, it is, Ravager. It is. Neto, thank you for the 51 months. Jesus, thank you. Are people like this? I don't know. They've always been like this. I think this is a tale as old as time kind of thing. I think people have always been that way. I just wish they'd like not, but you can wish all you want. People always be like that. They always will. They do be blazing. And that's not the problem. It's just how they interact with you because of it. That's the problem. Not, like, people can feel however they want to feel. They can think whatever they want to think. I'm not going to invade someone's brain and be like, you can't think that. It's whatever. None of that matters. It's just if they put that in front of you and make you deal with it, then it's a problem, right? I don't know, man. But I always had to deal with that. And it when I was younger, it made me want to get rid of my accent. Because I was like, I'm really tired of these comments. And I'm tired of people, like, there are dudes that live their lives being like, I want a feisty woman. And then they hear your accent, know nothing about you, and they go, feisty woman, I will now approach you. And, like, that shit was getting really annoying, Like, it was, like, they wouldn't even know shit. They'd just be like, you sound like Marissa Tomei, therefore you are Mona Lisa Vito in personality, therefore you're the one for me, like their brain does like 20 jumps. You see a lot of this of people doing this to all different types of people. Oh, when they call the redhead with an opinion fiery. Yeah. It's the same thing. Yeah. I feel like everyone has experienced this in some way, shape, or form. Someone projecting something on them because they are a thing, they have an accent or whatever it is. It's not always like romantic intent. It's other shit too, but I don't know. I don't like it. When you tell them to fuck off, it'll make them think it's part of the personality and not you telling them to fuck off. Yeah. Because I always would reject people pretty like neutrally or nicely. And someone would say something and I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I would do that. I would go, yeah, I'm good. I would like do a firm letdown, but not like overly mean. I just go, yeah, I'm good. And they'd be like, oh, she was so quick with it. Ha 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 ha. And I'm like, oh, did you want this to be a slow, painstaking process where I make it not obvious to you that I'm not interested? And then you get mad at me for leading you on? Like, what do you want here? Like, yeah, you can't win. You can't win, man. So for me, in my mind, I was like, I got to get rid of my accent. And I never got rid of it entirely, but it's a lot less. And it'll come out at times. At other times, it'll just be gone. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, I see a group chat that was made. I'm gonna type an evil emote in the group chat. I believe this is my Helldivers chat. Ooh, it's me, Fred, Rev, and Mike. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. Oh, yeah. Mike just said, do you want to play? And I said, yeah. So I didn't know who was coming. I'm saying, he said, Fred and my buddy Rev will join. I'm saying, fuck yeah, I love that gay little cow. I love Fred. Fred's a nice guy. You know that? He's a nice guy. No. Oh, man. I really want to do, you know, I want to do with them. You know, they do streams occasionally where Fred and Mike sit around and they go through Zillow and they just look at like the worst houses you could find. And I don't mean worst like not good. I mean like the like carpet in the bathroom, you know, like shit like that. I want to do one of those. I want to do one of those. So badly. Yeah, carpet backsplash in the kitchen, all that kind of stuff. Is it demeaning and stereotyping if we get him to moo? Well, I'm a streamer and I do things for content, so it's different. Carpet in the toilet. Have you ever seen a even worse, well, not worse, but more realistic. Have you seen a carpeted toilet seat? They make fuzzy toilet seat covers.
No.
Do one with Peppo to fix his dooming. Oh my God, wait, you're right. Dude, Peppo, okay, before I hop in this call, I gotta say, Peppo has been doing the funniest content. He's slowed down on it, but for a while, he would be streaming and he would pause whatever he was doing and just sit there for an hour looking at apartments. But he's like, I gotta live near the beach, man. And he'd start like looking at apartments. He started looking in Europe. He was trying to contact people in Italy for apartments. He's like, I want to run away and I want to be on the beach. Now keep in mind, he's an artist. Okay, yes, he streams. But like, he's just a guy who like spoke to no one for 6 months and just drew and painted for 6 months and like exiled himself. He's this kind of person, okay? He's one of those. So I'm like, this guy deserves to live on the beach. He does need this. Most people I'd be like, shut the hell up. Him, yeah, go do that. Be a recluse, you know? So I want him to have that. But he was like looking at beaches in Italy and he was like contacting people and they were like falling through. So what it turned into was just millennial dooming content. It was just him looking through like Zillow and like these European sites for apartments and just looking at them and lamenting about the prices and stuff. And he would do it for hours. And I actually really loved it. Those were some of my most favorite streams, is him just dooming about apartments for an hour. It was so good. I think millennial despair content is where it's at, man. He wants to live in a compound so bad. He does, and I get why. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He needs it. He needs it. Anyway, I would love to do that with him. I would love to. We still have not sat there and talked, like, not on the server, not in character. We have never sat down and just talked for a long time, but I think we need to. Someone said earlier, Peppo and Mike in a call might cause a black hole. You're not wrong. I need to talk to him about art. I need to talk to him about some paintings I like, and then it's over, man. It's over. Okay, let me join this call. I'm gonna ask them what their favorite painting is.
GEEGA's presence has to be, apparently you believe, has to be kept from me if I'm going to join.
What?
I just forgot, to be honest with you.
What do you...
Yeah, no, hi GEEGA.
Hey.
He's mad that I didn't tell him you were going to be here. He was just
No, it's...
out.
Oh, yeah, because he
it's
was going to
just that-
leave if he found out I was here, because he doesn't like that I call him a gay little cow. He doesn't like it. And he was going to leave. I get it.
That is notable that you call
like
me a
that.
gay little cow.
Gay little cow.
I was just pointing out...
Oh my god. Fred, I'm going to fucking drain your udders tonight. You ready, bro? Fred, I'm going to drain your fucking milkies clean, dude. Rev is here. Rev, what's up, man? How you doing?
Not much. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Okay.
Good. Thanks for coming, y'all. You ready
I'm late.
you ready to defend Super Earth?
Yeah, I've heard
Okay.
that it's under
Happening.
attack. For realsies this time.
Yeah, please tell me you guys updated the game.
Oh, I did.
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep,
I
yep.
am literally in game as we speak.
It's a
I'm
fatty.
opening the game.
It's a chunky update.
It's a fatty.
It's a fat.